Dad got envy, bro.
We're all rolling tonight.
Rolling, baby. Hey, good luck, studio. Steffi.
Hello.
How are you, sis?
Nice
Ow,
to see
just
you.
bang my
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, yeah.
This your local?
Sorry, can we do that again? Fun.
Wow. This is our new show, Crossways. Me and Steph are just going to be talking about women's football, aren't we? I said, you know what, Steph Houghton, man? Let's speak to Steph, see what she's doing. I know she'll probably be bombarded.
Retirement's treating as well.
Is it treating you well, Steph?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, you know. I didn't know how I would feel, because as a player and stuff, I'm intense as a player, and I always have been throughout my career, so to have that taken away, it's totally the right decision. I feel like a new person, to be honest.
But do you think, Steph, that you've not felt it yet?
I think that was the only
You'll
thing I'm a
feel
bit scared of. Like, even Sunday, Arsenal, Man City, massive game, and like they're the games that you want to be a part of.
Yes.
But even going to training to watch the girls, just to see them and stuff, I missed the girls, but I didn't miss being part of that.
No?
Yeah, no, it was just a different feeling. I was like, okay, actually, I can just chill and not have any pressure.
You know, the thing is that I remember Roy Keane saying about, like, when 3 o'clock comes, something happens naturally in your body.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's going to happen for you. And you know what else?
Did that happen for you?
It did, yeah, it still does. Especially, like, you get to certain games, like see with the derby the other day, that's one where playing that kind of game, so if you feel the same butterflies, the same energies inside about, you know, not wanting to lose and what it means, that never goes.
No.
That never goes. And then it's games where you think to yourself, you're watching someone, like I might watch someone, you know, miss a chance and you think, I really think I could have taken that chance. You see, like a defender, you're watching, you say to the defender, she should be tucking around. You feel like you can still, you still should be out there.
It's like, even now I'm thinking, right, okay, like do I send everybody a message and like give them like a little bit of a team talk? And I'm like, oh no, I don't know whether I should do that, because it's just, but I want them to do well. Do you know what I mean? So it's like a little bit like, I don't really know what to do with myself.
No, Steph, the thing is that now, for you and the way you do it, just speaking from my point of view, is to stay connected. I think that's one of the things that's kept my energy going, is to have a connection in the dressing room, having a vibe. I'm not talking about a connection where, you know what I mean, the guys are telling me stuff, just, you know what I mean, that's not the kind, it's just I think it's just my way of having a feeling still being in there, because you want to, because the game changes so much, and the same thing as you do feel like you're one of them, and now you're kind of on the outside. Are you still in the WhatsApp group? They take you out of it?
I took myself out because I thought, you know what, I think it's hard, like when you've been captain for that many years, to like kind of like have a bit of like say and stuff. But I actually do message the girls quite a lot, just going, how's things going? I'm like, I don't really get any inside scope or anything like that, because I just know what it was like when I was a player, when people are trying to find out what's going on here, there and everywhere. I just want them to go and play.
To be honest, you don't need to worry about the WhatsApp group. You can be in the Crossways group now.
I know, I'm buzzing.
You know what we've got to do, though? We've got to do officially, we've got to kind of welcome you to retirement properly, because I've been here for a long time.
Joining your club.
Yeah, you know something? Where's Luigi? You need a drink or something. To celebrate welcoming Steph to retirement, man. Champagne. Because you know something, you know what I'm going to read out? I'm going to read Steph's like honours and what she's done, and that's champagne business. Right, simply because I'm not going to embarrass you, because you know this is what you're about. This is what you are, the leader you are, and everything. 121 caps, England captain at 2 World Cups and Euros, reaching semi-finals in each. Captain the GB 2020 team, 3 goals at London 2012 Olympics, including the winner versus Brazil, a dream I've had, which will never materialise. You've done it. 3-time WSL champion, 5-time FA Cup champion, 127 WSL wins.
Oh, you can stop now.
More than any other player, Steph. This is what you've got to take. This is what you've just left behind. But your legacy, Steph, you know, top scoring defender in WSL history with like 23 goals. You know what I mean? From where you came from to what you've done, Steph, I'm not going to do let's interview Steph about her career, but you must be pleased with that. Your dad must be pleased with that.
Yeah, everybody is. I think it's more for them as well, you know, like I think of all the stuff that I've done, and that's some of them, and I'm quite embarrassed now, to be honest. Thanks.
Why? You're embarrassed about your achievements?
I like just to look forward, you know, but I think to look back at that, I can be like sitting here and going, actually, I'm pretty proud of that, and I know that I give it everything, and that's the main thing, I think.
The thing with retirement is a lot of looking back. And the thing is, what I've done there and what people have seen there is what you can look back on and what you've done. When you look back now, you know, you will look back at loads of junctures and you'll realise, yeah, that went all right. And the thing with those stats, they don't really talk about the journey.
No, and I don't think they do. And I think sometimes, like, especially women's football. I think that's probably what we can do in this show is like actually like really delve into like the detail. I think sometimes we just look at like maybe stats and we're very focused on those that score, those that get clean sheets. You don't really speak without them players that really like do a lot of hard work and are really like them people that join the teams up. So
what out of these would you say is the best for you? What's
so many.
There's so many, man. That's a flex in itself.
In a way, like obviously playing for England's the ultimate dream.
Yeah.
I think to be able to play for your country, to represent it, World Cups and to captain your country is the biggest honour that you can get. And I did that for such a long time, and that journey was different as well. I think sometimes people just think it's smooth. You just put an armband on. It's not necessarily like that, but
even the way it came to an end.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, yeah.
We'll go into that at some stage. But
thanks,
you. Louise. Just a little bit.
Flat white and a champagne.
You know, it doesn't come better than that.
No, I know.
It doesn't come any better than that.
But yeah, very lucky to have had so many amazing moments. Really am. That's why I think there's so many people you can thank as well. There's probably too many.
Yes. You know what we'll do? We'll have to toast. Let's toast to your retirement and Crossways.
Thank you, Crossways.
Speaking about retirement, I've just seen like Tony Duggan.
Oh, I know.
You know her well?
Yeah, I've obviously spent a lot of time with her at England and at Man City.
You know, seeing her as emotional as she was, and I was thinking to myself, she was one of those that I remember really pioneering it in respect to the way she played, going abroad, coming back, trying to find it, and then seeing how emotional she was at the end.
Yeah.
And what she done, and what I get from her and a lot of the girls that retire now, is how thankful for her career, how grateful she was for the people that came before her. And Tony Duggan, she's retired at a time where it seems to be, and yourself as well, it seems to be in a place where you probably dreamt of it to be. And obviously there's still more to go.
You know what? Tony was a special player, I think, in terms of someone that you'd want on your team to be a match winner. I mean, I think of all the goals that she scored at Manchester City, and they're all screamers, like top corner. I think there's one she played against Chelsea last game of the season. Our first season was unbelievable, and you know what? She wore a heart on her sleeve, which I loved about her, and if she wasn't happy, she would tell you, and I think I like that. They're just like players that are really honest, and she'd work so hard for the team. And you know what? Like, I think obviously she had a baby a couple of years ago, and she's come back. She played for Everton, and it doesn't seem to have clicked over these last few years, but ultimately I think she can hold her head high and be like really proud of what she did for the club she played for, but also for England. She was a big part of an England team for 4 or 5 years in terms of the World Cup, 2019, Euros 2017. So yeah, it's been an honour to play with her, to be honest. And she should be so happy.
We should have a quick link to Tony.
Yeah, to Tony.
To Tony. And a mother as well, right?
Yeah, and she's right in terms of the game. Like, we would never have been able to sit and go, actually, you can get paid for doing something that you love to do.
That's
and
what she said.
It's madness, and obviously being from the Northwest and being from Everton since a young girl, I think you go through them times where you're only training twice a week or you're not getting paid to play, and she got that opportunity to do them moves that she did to Barcelona and Atletico as well, and she said she had no regrets, and I really honestly do believe her that she's made every decision she has for her and for the game as well.
It really was quite emotional to see, because I could tell there must be, when you look back at the generations of women who didn't even get to play. Yeah. And this is why I was so impressed with Tony's kind of like emotional little speech there about the fact that she was just glad for the opportunity.
It was really real. You could tell the interview was real.
It really touched me.
And she absolutely loved football. Like, she was just like, everything was football, and she knew how to switch off, but when it was football, it was, like, okay, yeah, definitely. So, Wrighty, WSL is back.
Yes, there's a few teams that have to really step up and do something this season. Who are you looking at?
Well, shall we take a look at the fixtures? Maybe have a look at Chelsea, Villa?
Yeah. You know, Villa are the kind of team, obviously Chelsea are going to be favourites in respect to what they're trying to do. Bompasta's coming in, and we're not talking about...
I like her, you know.
I do, you know.
Successful.
Exactly. She's going to come in, and she's not looking in like to come in and like tiptoe around what Emma's done there, you know. I think she's coming in as a Champions League winner, as a proper manager. Yeah. And she's going to want to stamp her.
She was a player as well.
She was she good?
Technically. So I think Chelsea's style of play will probably change a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they're quite direct, aren't they, compared to
maybe Arsenal? Do you think that midfield, the midfield will be more involved, wouldn't it?
And obviously they'll have Sam Kerr coming back, which will be a big bonus for them.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, actually. I think it's hard when a manager leaves that's been there so long and been so successful, but I think they've had some good additions to the squad. The likes of,
big season for Millie Bright, I think, leading.
She needs to be fit, because when she's fit, like, she's just so dominating and she's just relentless.
Yeah, she's one of those players that when they're not on the team sheet, not only do you feel a little bit more insecure about what's going to happen at the back, but the opposing team are very much buoyed by the fact that she's not there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's
just a presence, hasn't she?
Absolutely, absolutely. Like England without Millie, especially through that World Cup, and that was, and the same, I have to say, Jess Carter as well. She was amazing, but I could not imagine England without Millie.
No,
you know,
definitely. I mean,
they overplayed her though. I think, Steph, they really, really did overplay her for me.
That's the rotation thing, though, isn't it? Like, you have got players that can.
Games, though, Steph, that she could have easily have been rested. I think that had a lot to do with maybe her how long her injury went on for. You know, the recovery.
It's back-to-back seasons, playing as many games as possible, travelling. It's just everything, like, as a player. But you mentioned Villa. They've got a new manager.
Yes, DePaul, Bobby DePaul. That's what I'm calling him.
Okay, then you can call him that
Bobby
if you
DePaul. You know? So no, but like I think that Villa. Remember a couple of seasons ago, they looked like wow.
Yeah.
Villa coming under Carla, but like it didn't. It's not seemed to materialise.
They were quite disappointing, weren't they?
It's not materialised. So I don't know what their aim will be, Villa, in respect to what they're going to do. I know that they're going to play trying to press more. So that's going to be interesting to see how Rachel Daly deals with that. You know, especially if she's retired from England, to concentrate on Villa. You know, so how they're going to deal with that press, how they're going to play differently, how she's going to play differently.
I think they might play similar to the men, I think. That's how they're trying to kind of build their teams now, which they should be aiming for top four, in my opinion. But that'll be an interesting match, the first one, Chelsea-Villa.
What are you thinking about the actual kick-off on Friday? What are you thinking?
I think it's going to be probably the best season yet, if I'm being honest,
On what grounds?
More in terms of, like, the quality. I think teams have bought well this summer. I think people are getting used to playing a certain way and it's becoming more tactical, which normally when the WSL started, it was a lot more, okay, if you were physically the best side, it was like, okay, you're probably going to get the points. But now it's all about who has the best tactics, who has the best players in terms of technique. And it's going to be interesting to see as a supporter rather than being involved. And onto another fixture,
Go on.
West Ham.
Man United, West Ham. When you look at United, obviously they've lost Katie Zellum, their captain. They've lost Mary Earps, who's a real, for me, a proper player. They've
She's a key player,
a world-class player. They've lost. They seem to have the last couple, obviously losing people like Anya Batley, you know, Alessia Russo, Mary Earps, and that. There doesn't seem to be a progression. It feels like they're always fighting against. Okay, they're losing them. We'll bring this player in.
Doesn't seem to be like
I think this feels like their best winner for a long time.
A strategy.
I know, it just feels like things happen there, and we know what's going on at Man United to a certain extent, and at a certain centre now, maybe some of the players are not so happy they're looking for the first opportunity out of there. And that's what I feel like every season with Man United.
There's always question marks against them, whereas I think when they obviously joined the WSL and they kept on progressing for the first couple of seasons, made Champions League, you're thinking, okay, they're going to go big and they're going to keep progressing. But last season was disappointing. I think they lacked a lot of experience. I think losing Mary is a big loss. I think it was probably evident that she wanted to move probably earlier, but they kept her for that season. But I think, for me, the style of play probably isn't what I like resonate with a Man United team. And it's like, how do they do that again this season? Do they change the way that they play with the players they've brought in?
Yeah, I think that the United fans should be happy about people like Gabby George, especially.
Yeah, she's a great
player.
You
know, another injury. You know what I mean? We're talking about like a player that, you know, when I saw her at Everton, I was thinking, she's a lot better than this. And I thought when she went to United, she was, you know what I mean? It's going to be a really good.
She's so powerful. Well, like if you play against, like running with the ball and. I don't know, she's got a left foot as well. Like, there's not many that can ping a ball like her from that left-hand side, whether she plays left back or she plays left centre-half. But
you know, I was going to say, Grace Clinton coming back from Tottenham, Emma Watson.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I just feel that this season now, it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. Grace Clinton and Ella Toone, how that's going to pan out. You know what I mean? They've got some good signings, Dominic Janssen. That, you know, players that I feel like they're kind of making the signings that they will be pushing. And I personally don't think that West Ham, you know, I saw West Ham last season. I'm not sure their pattern of play, you know, even when I watch them. I don't know. They can't. The deep block. The mid. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's like they're just trying to like,
yeah.
not to be disrespectful, but like just wait for something to happen. But sometimes it just never happens. You've got to take the game to people.
I think that they'll struggle. West Ham simply they lost their goalkeeper, 2 starting defenders. You just feel like they're just hanging on. And this is a game. It's perfect for Man United to start in respects of
at home.
Absolutely to start and really put down a marker.
Yeah.
And try and chase down, but like I can't see anything but Man United doing the business there. Arsenal, Man City.
Big game.
Yeah.
Are we rivals then?
I think we are rivals because I'm sitting there all cool and acting like it won't bother me, but it will bother me if you lot beat us.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about that. City.
You know what? I'm just glad that we're playing at the Emirates for the first
Why?
time. I think at Boreham Wood we always play Arsenal and it's always tight and it's always enclosed, and I think that Emirates pitch might suit the way that Manchester City play.
Because it's nice and wide.
It's like we want space. We want space to be able to move the ball.
I know, Lauren.
But I do think it's going to be a tough game.
We got to talk about like the Viv transfer. What do you feel about the Viv transfer from a Man City point of view? Because I'll tell you the Arsenal in a sec. From my point of view, anyway.
My thing is where's she going to fit?
Yeah, there's so many 10s there.
Yeah, I think there's 10s she can play.
I was going to actually ask you that. Where's she going to fit?
Yeah, like you've got 10s. You obviously got Jill Roord coming back, who had a great start to the season before her injury. You've got Bunny as number 9, which is a position I love.
Jess Park. Poor Jess Park.
Oh, she's been amazing.
Another person coming in to not get her into that number 10 spot.
Yeah, so like literally I'm like, do you replace Bunny or do you replace Jill Roord? Do you replace Laura Coombs, who's been unbelievable for Manchester City over these last few seasons? So, and also the way that City play, it's very structured, it's very disciplined. And when she was at Arsenal, in that 10 position, she roamed quite a bit.
She did.
To get on the ball.
Yeah, she wanted to play the 10 and I remember she wanted to play the 9. What about her dynamics going into that dressing room? Obviously, she's going in with a big rep. She's a big player. Going in as number 10, probably wanting to play number 10 against all those players that you've just mentioned, Jill Roord. And do you know her? Do you know her just in passing?
I mean, obviously played against her for a lot of years and she was probably one of the hardest players I played against because she was just so clinical in the box and by all accounts she settled in really straight away, to be honest. And it's just a surprise that Arsenal let her go, to be honest.
I hear what you're saying. I know that she brings goals and if she plays anything like we know what she can do, like when she first came and the levels she's got to, top goal scorer and everything, you know, we know that she's a top player, but like last couple of seasons, just before she left, and obviously then she got the injury, she just seemed like she was in a limbo place. I saw her playing against teams she should have been destroying, and there seemed to be, it just wasn't quite happening.
Sometimes you maybe just need that little bit of change.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that the change, this is what I think she needed the change, but what she did for Arsenal was unbelievable, unprecedented what she done. But for Jonas, for me, this is again goes down to, for me, Arsenal. They have to win something this season.
Especially with I agree. I think especially with the signings that they've brought in.
You know what I mean? You know, when you look at Caldente, you know.
I love her. She's so good.
Kafaji as well, but when you look at Caldente, it's gone so under the radar how good she is.
Yeah.
The level she's got to and where she is in respect to the Spanish team and come to ours. And like, it's just like kind of gone under. It's an amazing signing. And the thing is, Van Domsel is somebody that I'm really pleased about simply because, you know, I always felt that the goalkeeping side of Arsenal, it could go another level in respect of, I'm not knocking Zinzi. It's just that, like Arteta, you have to go to the next level if that's what you feel you have to do. And I feel that that's what we needed to do with a goalkeeper. And again, you know, a team that know that they would have probably loved Viv to still be there, but they want a Viv that the Man City might be getting now, a motivated, a driven.
I think sometimes as a player, you've been in dressing rooms where if someone is like that continuously every day, you try and not let it affect you, but it does eventually affect the group to a point. If it's like, in terms of like, say, someone that isn't really as motivated, isn't doing the right things all the time, probably is looking for a change, but like they're still there for 6 to 12 months. It's like, how do you kind of like not let it affect people? So, but I think you're right in terms of Arsenal. I think the league and for Manchester City, I think that is the trophy that both of them are desperate for. And that's the biggest aim that they should be going for. And also, if they both qualify for Champions League, how do you cope with rotating your squad, or do you rotate your squad every 3 days?
You know, I was going to say to you as well about City and Gareth Taylor, and you know, especially the way it finished for you guys last season. It was like, really? It finished like, you know, was you surprised he got renewal? To be honest, I was surprised. I was very surprised that he got renewal.
Yeah, I think as players we were more of the timing. To be honest, I think he renewed in the week that we had. I think we had Spurs away in the league, we had Spurs away in the FA Cup, and we actually got beat in the FA Cup on penalties. And I think it was a crucial time in the season that obviously the club have backed him, and we were playing really well at the time. We were obviously top of the league, and it looked like we were going to be so closer than we've ever been for the last few seasons. But a 3-year deal is massive, and I think for a club now, I think when you're speaking about Arsenal, you're like, Jonas needs to win a trophy.
Has to.
Like, Gaz has won 2 in however many years he's been here, and there's lots of things that go with that, but ultimately that is what you're a manager for, is to have that pressure of winning trophies.
I'm very surprised, Steph, that a manager that finished the season like he did, and obviously you're going to miss someone like Buddy Shaw, but for them to fall off and being so close and, you know, to finish, it's weak, man. It's weak, for want of a better word.
I think for me, like, looking at it from where I was in that position, a draw would have won us the title. Technically, if we went and beat Villa the next game. Yeah. And Arsenal score, and we did nothing to change. We didn't have no control of the game. And
could you feel it while he was, could you feel?
Yeah, and I'm like, just put some of us on. Just put somebody on. Like, we need legs in there. It's the end of the season. Obviously, the atmosphere was kind of like quiet because we'd conceded, and I'm like, this is the difference between playing the best football in the league, but also winning. Ultimately, it's about winning. And yeah, we can say that we are, as a club, one of the best footballing teams in the league, but we have nothing to show for last season, which, as a player, that's the most frustrating thing, because it's just so close, and they're the fine margins.
Right, Steph, let's look at some players, some big assignments. In fact, I like that. I might start a segment, I don't know, this assignment segment. Who's got the assignment? Do you want to start, or shall I start?
I'll start.
You start then, Steph.
I'm going to start with, I'm going to have a look at my notes,
Go on.
Dominique Janssen from Man United.
Defender?
She can play from the back. She's strong in the air. I'm sure she scored a few against us as well.
Right.
But I think for me, Man United, what they are lacking is that experience and that winning mentality.
Right.
And known by playing against her and watching over the last few years.
She'll bring that.
She wants to win, and I feel as though that's something that United have lacked over these last few seasons. So
that makes sense as well, losing Katie Zellum as well. So
yeah, and you've lost Mary Earps, who is experienced, and she's won with England, and I feel as though that's a gap that United have missed, and I think it'll be a lot of responsibility on her this season, not only from her playing but also off the pitch as well.
So you know who I'm going with to start with. I'm going to go with Myra Ramirez.
You like her?
Yeah, I really, really do. I watched her in the World Cup, and I remember, I don't even know if Emma nicked her off me, because I kept talking about her. She's the best number 9. And then bam.
Did you get a cut?
I didn't. But like, I remember watching her, and in the World Cup, she'd done everything. Steph, a link-up play, a run in the channels, a movement in the box, the finishing, and then watching her last season just dismantle Man United. Dismantle her without Fischl, without Sam Kerr. I think that she's got a big part to play, and if she gets it right, Steph, she can't be stopped. But I don't know many defenders who's gonna stop her.
She's so powerful, and she's strong with the ball, and she makes runs.
What would you have done with her, Steph, when if you was playing with her? Because like, she is
got about 20 people around her just to stop her. I think it wouldn't just be me by herself, but I think you've just got to be so clever, and you've got to get there early. But with her being so strong as well, it's hard to get round her. But I think obviously second season as well, getting used to this league, it could be. Yeah, people take that. See the best of her this season.
You know, coming from where she's come from over in Colombia, and that, you know, to come over and settle and get in such a big team, a team that needs to win as well. So I think she's settled pretty well. If the Man United game's anything to go by, she's going to hurt people.
Yeah, she ended the season really well.
So we'll see how it goes. Who else you got?
I'm going to go for someone from Aston Villa. I feel as though it's a big season. Paula Tomas, full-back from Levante.
Yeah.
Young, 23, very front-footed, defending and attacking. And I feel as though we'll see probably a different Villa this season. I think she's going to be key in terms of getting forward, supporting the wide players, but likes to cross from wide areas, which will suit Rachel Daly. Like you said, her role might be different, but I think she's dynamic, and I feel as though that's what the new manager likes.
Seeing.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm excited to see her play. I think she's got really good potential.
We'll look out for her, you know.
Yours next?
Talking about a young player, then Cara Cooney-Cross. You know, somebody that I've got a lot of time for. You know, we message each other. She's somebody that, when I was in the Women's World Cup, I said to them, we have to be signing her, you know, and for all accounts, you know, it's not up to this point. She's a very young player, remember, she's still a very young player. Up to this point, it's not quite happened for her. But I think that this season, especially when, you know, Palova's injured, we're hearing about a massive bid, record bid for Kira Walsh. You're thinking to yourself, and I'm thinking to her, now, this, you have to recognise, this is what it's about. She's more than good enough.
What is her best position?
I think in that midfield, I think that holding midfield role, definitely.
She impressed in the World Cup, to be honest. And I think you didn't really see that much of her last season.
No, we didn't.
And you need to have that belief sometimes.
And the thing is, you know, I think that when that young players have to play, and I think she needs to play to get the experience as well. But she has got a certain amount of experience international level where she can push her shoulders back because she's got the capabilities at international level. And I think she needs to do this in this moment because her opportunity is here. And I will be telling her that, you know. I will be telling her that, you know, trying to bring in somebody like that. What's that saying to you? So I hope she recognises that.
I mean, and to get a player of Kira Walsh's status would have been massive. But I think, them players have got to step up. And that's one thing that's probably changed in women's football is now that you had quite a lot of loyalty, whereas now it's about business, it's about results, and that's how it should be.
Right.
We haven't really mentioned Liverpool, so I'm going to go Marie Hubinga. Really good season last season. I think she started 18 out of the 22 games. That attacking midfielder has got an eye for a bit of a pass. Set piece specialist, which, especially on one of them final games against Chelsea, putting some unbelievable deliveries.
She made my team of the season last year.
Yeah,
she's got it, bro.
She's going to get better as well. And for me, I think when someone has such a good technique like that, it's hard not to kind of look at them and go, actually, she can influence Liverpool, because they had a great season last season. Yeah,
I'd be interested to see how Liverpool get on this season. With Matt Beard and the way he's got them going, you know, if they can, you know, make the chances, I think they might be okay.
Yeah.
I think they might be okay. You know, I'm gonna go with Grace Clinton. I loved Grace Clinton at Tottenham. I love the way that, you know, offered a Man United loan. She went there. She blasted what you have to do when you go on loan. You know, you go out on loan and you go and you show them you're good enough to play in that team. At the moment, they're not picking you, so you'll come here in the same league and impress to the point where you get called up for England. So now she's gone back. The only thing that worries me more than anything else is how her and Ella Toone are going to get on in there. But if they can sort that out with her capabilities, her eye for goal, you know, her play in and around that number 10 area, Steph, I think that she's...
I like her energy, you know. I think, like, I mean, you speak about Jill Scott, but her energy was box to box, and you can see that a little bit in Grace in terms of, like, wanting to get back and defend. And I know that Tooney is very forward-facing, but I really do think that is probably as good a sign that Man United will have, bringing her back. And I was actually surprised they didn't call her back during the season last season, unless they couldn't do, but it is a big season for her. And
I think it was right for her to stay there, to be honest, Steph. Because what it's done is that it's given her the opportunity to be in a team where she is the main focal point. Now she could go back to United again with, you know, with a body of work. Like, I'm capable of this. I got into the England squad. I've got to play. The only thing, like I say, I'm worried about is the balance. That's the only thing.
And who's going to play that number 6 when Zellam's not there?
Well, this is what they're going to have to sort out. So once we see how that pans, Grace Clinton has to play. That's all I'm saying. Grace Clinton has to play.
My last player was Miedema, which we've spoke about quite a lot. But I think, for me, it would be rude not to speak about her.
I think we should,
what has she done in the WSL for Arsenal, and the amount of goals that she scored, the assists that she's got, and the presence that she had for so many seasons. And especially when you're coming back from ACL, it does take a while to get back at your very best. And that time's probably passed now in terms of you've had that 3 or 4 months to get back, get your rhythm back, and to get a bit more confident and going to a new club. I think it could be a massive season for her.
You excited for them if she gets it right?
Yeah, I am, because I just know what it's like to play against her when she's at her best, and it's so hard to defend.
You know, someone I've got to mention is Naomi Munchen. I think she's come from Reims, with the manager. She came with the manager, and she's a good goal scorer, something that Leicester's not had.
No.
They've not had that. And, you know, when you look at her, you know what I mean, I've watched 9 in 22 league in the French league last season, and watching her, she's very strong. She's very good on the ball. She'll get the ball and she'll dribble past people. She's a very good finisher. She loves that, coming in on the right foot, curling it in, kind of. She's very right foot dominant, but like prominent in respects of trying to get on it all the time. But like, if she can score the goals that I've seen her score in the French league, or they can get her the service, she's just one for me to look out for. Because when I saw her stuff, I thought, right, that's interesting. When she got Leicester, I thought, wow, good move.
I think
good move.
Leicester
And the manager
create chances as well.
Yeah, hopefully they will.
Yeah, because then you've got that striker there that can actually go and finish them. And I think Leicester were one of our hardest teams to play last season because they're so high press and they create havoc. And sometimes in football you want so much control, but they've got young players who will run and run and run. And they've added to the squad with someone that can go and score goals. So
Fingers crossed.
It'll be an exciting season for them.
Fingers crossed. Nice one. That's it, Steph.
Oh, wow. That's gone quick, eh?
Listen, we had a great chat. It felt really cool.
The first episode done.
Yeah, it's good, man. And because you came down, obviously I'm going to come up and see you next week. I'm coming to Manchester, man.
Yeah. You come and see us up north, yeah?
That's it, man. But that's it. That's Crossways. That's all Crossways, man. London, Manchester.
What a show.
We'll see you next week, man. Take it easy.
Bye.